Hi guys, I'm back again with part 2 of our color and chat of this PDF called Summer by Jacquelin de Leon, and we're gonna do her hair and this part of her, the patch on the back of her jacket. So let's start. I've got my 2 colors ready ahead of time. So we've got, these are Limoche markers. Let me turn it around so you can see. So these are Limoche markers, and I didn't put the focus lock on the phone, but I think it's fine. And this is number 68, turquoise blue, and this one is, see what I mean about the focus lock? This is 63, cerulean blue. So what we're going to do is alternate the blue and the green in her hair. And I also have, hold on, the Pentel Hybrid Dual Metallic. And this is the blue plus metallic green. And it's almost out. I don't know if you can see that, but it starts right here. So I've had it for a while though. I'm actually glad to see my supplies getting used. Sometimes I wonder, like, especially with my alcohol markers, I have 3 sets. I have the Limoche, the Cali Art, and the Bianco markers. And I love them all, but I feel like none of them ever go, like, none of them get used up. It's really odd. So I thought about, like, blending them, but then I was like, no, I don't think I'll like that. You know? Can you guys see that well? Hard to see the top of her head. I finally found an angle that works. I'll have to, like, remember where I put the little tripod. Took me a while, but I figured it out. So thanks for your patience. So we're just gonna put the turquoise right here, and probably right here too. Let's get the underneath part. One thing I really like about marker paper as opposed to like Amazon paper is the marker paper, like you know how when you put alcohol markers down on Create's base paper, they feather out, so you have to be like really careful when you do like tight spaces that you like barely touch the paper. That's my trick anyway. To keep it from like bleeding over the edge. Well, they don't feather on this paper, so. And my brain automatically wants to go to, oh no, that's too small a space. I don't know if I can color that in marker, but you can. It's just I'm so used to coloring on Amazon paper that when I do color on this paper, I forget. Like, oh, that's right. This is actually made for markers. You guys can't see right now, but I have an audience. My kitty's watching me. Are you coloring too? She's supervising. She's making sure I'm doing the right thing. That's her role in my house. She's my supervisor. Especially since my other kitty passed away. She's my main lady in charge. Oh, she sat down. Or she laid down. Every time I start talking to the camera, she gets really interested. Like, what's going on? What are you doing? I want to help. And we all know what she really wants to do is sit on this paper. Because if there is paper to be sat on, kitties will find it. Let me tell you. They love open books and paper and all that kind of stuff. Not sure why. Sometimes when I color, I have to put a decoy book out and just open it so she'll sit on that one instead of the one I'm coloring. It's too funny. We love our fur babies. I have been looking at this like half done picture for a couple of days now. Like, oh my gosh, I want to color in that picture so bad. But I can't do it off camera. I have to do it with you guys. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pull this camera out and get started. I had to wait. I always have to wait for my phone to charge too, like fully, so that I know the battery doesn't run down or won't run down. Cause it takes a lot of battery to run the camera, especially if you're recording a video or not just taking a photo, but recording a video takes a lot of battery power. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying the other videos, it seems. Everybody seems to like the haul videos, but that's not surprising because I love haul videos too. It's a good way to like see new books you might have never seen before and get a little sneak peek. I'm not gonna worry too much about if I go over the lines in her hair because, you know, her kind of all blends together. It's cool. I might do some blending on the bottom of her hair. I haven't decided. I'm kind of a decide as I go person, if you haven't noticed. So are you guys having a nice weekend? Have you done anything fun? Is everybody doing Christmas in July pictures? I haven't done any more. I did that one in Joanna's Christmas that I posted on my Instagram. But I haven't done any more. I usually only do one for Christmas in July. I save my like heavy duty Christmas coloring for like after Thanksgiving into Christmas, you know. So do you guys have any coloring books that you're obsessed with right now? Not at the moment. I think I mentioned before in a previous video that for a while I was really obsessed with the Jade Summer Intricate Mandalas book. But I've kind of given that a break for a little while to color other stuff. Like this pretty girl. After I finish this girl with you guys, I think I'm gonna continue working on a PDF I have from Jacquelin. It's called The Crazy Cat Lady. And it's exactly what it sounds like. I'll post it to my Instagram when I'm done, but I'm having a fun time working on it. I'm doing that one on marker paper as well. I either print stuff out on marker paper or regular printer paper. Like, I don't have colored pencil paper, which I know Strathmore makes, but it's 9 by 12 because Strathmore does not know how to make 8.5 by 11. And I don't have a paper cutter. I think I've mentioned that before too, so. Also, I'd rather just it already be 8.5 by 11 to fit in my printer because I'm terrible at like measuring and cutting. Excuse me, it's not my strong point at all. But I'll do it if in a pinch, you know, like I have Bristol paper that I've done it for Jacquelin, as a matter of fact. I like this paper, but I gotta say, I think I prefer Bristol if you're gonna do like a ton of marker layers. Bristol is the way to go, hands down. It's thicker than this paper is. Normally marker paper is thin in general, but to me Bristol is thicker. Oh, we gotta do her other bun. Forgot about that. Whoops, wrong end. Ouch. Pinch myself. Can you guys see it? She's got really high hair. The higher the hair, the closer to God. I always thought that's a funny thing. That must have been like, that must have taken off in the 60s when ladies had those beehive hairdos. The higher the hair, the closer to God. That could be true for a lot of things. So, like, if you had a really tall hat. Be like, the taller the hat, the closer to God. I don't know. Oh, silliness. Ignore me. Alright. So, now we can start on the longer strands of hair. And I think we're going to blend the bottom out of her hair strands. So we'll start with one color and then gradate to another one. So let's see. Mm. Alright, I'll do it this way right here then. Excuse me. Alright, so stop right here and get our other color. Yay! How does that look? Good, nice. Looks good to me. And that's all that matters. This is a little nerve-wracking though, I won't lie, because this is a very narrow strand of hair. And even though it doesn't feather, it's still, you know, still tricky. I'm like, oh, I don't want to put a little mark where I can't white it out later. This is why sometimes it's hard to talk and color at the same time, because you gotta concentrate. Alright, we did good. Yay. So good. I'm so proud of myself. So, I don't know if you guys are into like sports in general or podcasts or both, but I listened to a really great podcast all yesterday, and it's called the 30 for 30 podcast. And they talk, each season they talk about like a different sport and different major things that have gone on in that sport, like one major thing in that sport that's gone on. And this season is about Bella and Marta Caroli of women's gymnastics fame here in the U.S. and Romania too. And it basically tells their whole story from when they started out in Romania until fairly recently with the whole Larry Nassar scandal. And it was really interesting, so I recommend you check it out. Even if you just like true crime type stuff, you know. I'm a big women's gymnastics fan. I have been since I watched the '96 Olympics. and watched the Magnificent Seven in Atlanta. I actually took gymnastics for a little while, and I thought it was a lot of fun. It wasn't like competitive gymnastics or anything, but I had a blast, and it was a really good workout. And the people at the gym I went to were really nice people. So I had a very positive experience, and unfortunately that's not true for every person, which breaks my heart, because some of the things those girls have gone through and are going through is just terrible. This strand of hair was bigger than I thought it was. That's okay. Oh my gosh, it's been so hot lately, you guys. It's been in the 90s and humid, which is a terrible, terrible combination. And it's really funny because every winter I'm always like, oh, I'd rather it be 100 degrees than 30 or degrees or less, or I'd rather it be hot than cold, which is true, still true. But then in the summertime when it's this hot, I'm always like, you know what? Maybe that cold isn't so bad. But, just wait until winter comes and then I'll be like, it's so cold. I hate it. I can't go outside. I can't do anything. So, I'm never satisfied. The grass is always greener. Where do you guys live? Let me know in the comments. Do you live in a cold climate or a warm climate? I have only ever lived in the South United States, so I am not familiar with like super duper cold. I mean, it snows here, and it sticks, but I think the most snow we've ever had was 6 inches, at least since I've been here, and To me, that's enough. But I know it's not nearly like what people up north get. I can't figure out if, like, I guess I'll continue the blue in this little gap right here. Yeah, I know people up north have way more snow than that, and ice, and all kinds of stuff. So, it could be colder. It could be worse, for sure. And just as a side note, if I'm coloring and you can see little, like, they almost look like little lighter areas from where my marker has been, that's just the paper. Well, let me take that back. It's not the paper, it's the marker. The only markers I have that don't leave the little splotchiness are the Prismacolor and the Copic markers. I don't know if it's to do with the ink quality or if it's because they have a brush tip. But, I mean, it doesn't really bug me. And if it really bugs you a lot, like if you have these same markers and it bugs you, it's okay because you can always put colored pencil over it, like I was mentioning before, because this paper takes colored pencil well too. So, no worries. How do you think she looks so far? I'm liking her. I think she looks pretty good. She's definitely got awesome hair, that's for sure. Oh man. Sorry about the yawns. I'm filming this at night. And it is 11:30 p.m. Which is not super late, but you know, it's just one of those things where you're like yawning and kind of tired, but not tired enough to go to sleep. Because I know if I get in bed now, I'll just like lay there staring at my phone for hours. And that's not going to sleep. So I might as well just stay up and color with you guys. Are you coloring along? If you are, let me know what you're coloring. I always really like hour-long coloring videos, you know? It doesn't have to be like color and chat, it could be any kind of coloring related video, because I always put those on while I color myself or do something else. Like I like to collage and stuff like that. So just anything creative. I like having creative videos on in the background. It kind of inspires me to keep going. It's just fun. So I have a question for you guys. What is your favorite brand of pencils? Do you have a favorite brand, or is there more than one? Is it too hard to pick? because I have a couple that I really like, and it would be hard for me to pick just one, you know, like because they all have different qualities, right? That's why a lot of us have so many different brands of pencil, because they all work well on different paper, or they work well for different techniques, or, you know, so, like, I'll give you guys an example. There's a fly. Crap. I hate flies. The summer is so bad because I don't even know, and they scare the cat, which is also kind of funny. I don't even know how they get in here, but they get in here. Anyway, but as I was saying, my favorite pencil brands, or like my favorite pencils that I have, are my Prismacolors, my Polychromas, and my Pablos. And I like them all for different reasons. If I had to pick, like if somebody was like, oh, you have to pick one, you can't take all three, I'd pick Polychromas, hands down. Like, I love Prismacolors because of the color selection, and because they blend so easily. But compared to Polychromas, they don't color on Amazon paper as well, in my opinion, without a blender. If you don't want a lot of little white spaces in your colored areas, I would say go with Polychromas and press a little harder. One, Polychromas can definitely take the pressure that you put on them a lot better than Prismacolors can, because Polychromas are harder, and two, because Polychromas are oil based, they won't cover up the black line art or the line work in your pictures. Like, you know, you won't have to erase the marks that your colored pencils make as they go over the black lines with Polychromas like you do with Prismacolor. And also, Polychromas are my go-to, like, grayscale colored pencils, like, especially in Create Space paper, for those reasons, because the Polychromas won't cloud over the grayscale like the wax in the Prismacolors will. And also, the Prismacolors are so soft and so pigmented that they'll just cover up all of the grayscale areas, and you'll just end up with one solid color. Because that's happened to me before. I'll show you an example if I remember in the next video of what I'm talking about, the Polychromas on the grayscale versus the Prismacolors, because I have two pictures I did a few years ago using both, and you can really tell the difference. So, but I really do love them both. Like, my preferred pencil in the romantic country books are Prismacolors over Polychromas. To me, okay, so it's the opposite from Amazon paper. So, to me, if you color with Polychromas in the romantic country books, you're gonna need a blender of some kind. Because it just doesn't look smooth, and that's due to the paper. But and it's good paper. It's really good paper, but I can never make them look super smooth on that paper. So that's why I like Prismacolors, because they do come out looking really smooth. So yeah, different pencils have different uses, and I like Pablo's because they're a harder pencil. I tend to like harder pencils, and I also they have a really interesting color range too, kind of like Prismacolors. They have a range of colors that I think is different than Prismacolors. Even though Prismacolors has a slightly bigger range than Pablo's, I think Pablo's have more interesting shades. Pablo's are kind of like, I can't compare them to Polychromos, and I can't compare them to Prismacolors. They're their own beast. But I have a couple of unpopular opinions on colored pencils. Certain colored pencils, which is really funny because it's like only us colorists would have, well, and some artists too, would have this unpopular opinions about colored pencils the way that we do. But my unpopular opinion about about certain colored pencils, specifically, I do not like Staedtler Ergo Soft pencils. Can't stand them. Not sure if I'm doing something wrong, but I've tried them on many different types of paper and just not a fan. But I've seen some beautiful work done with them. So I think it all comes down to how you color, how you hold your pencil, the amount of pressure you naturally put on your paper when you color, all that stuff. So just because, don't take my exact word for it and be like, oh, she says Polychromos are her favorite, so they must be the best pencils ever, because you might not like the way Polychromos color, and that's totally fine. It's one of those things where you've got to experiment for yourself, because it's a very kind of individual thing. You got to find what tools work best for you. But I do not like Staedtler Ergo Soft pencils, and so many people do. And conversely, I don't like, I like Staedtler Norris and Norris Club pencils, and people do not seem to like those pencils at all. And I understand, I totally get that one, because they're not very pigmented and they're really hard, but I don't know. For some reason, I just really like them. They color very well because they're so hard in tight spaces, kind of like Prismacolor Verithin pencils, which are also very hard. And they have, there's a few interesting purple colors in the Staedtler range, in general, the color pencils, that I really like. But the Norris Club pencils, which are the middle, going from hardest to softest in their line, is the Norris is the harder, right? Or I'm sorry, did I just say softest to hardest? The softest is the Ergo Soft, right? Then the second in the middle is Norris Club, then the hardest is Norris. And I don't think, I mean, they claim they are, but I don't think Norris pencils, the hardest ones, you can't, so with really hard pencils, you might not be able to blend them together like in a gradient, but you can layer them on top of each other. So if you ever have hard pencils and you're having a really hard time getting them to blend, try layering the colors instead. So start with the lightest color and then work your way up to the darkest color and kind of layer them on top of each other. And see if that doesn't work better, because it usually works much better for me. Like, I get much better results. I just have to, like, point that out, because I think the Norris and the Norris Club pencils get a bad rap. But I like them a lot. So that's my unpopular coloring pencil opinion. Oh, here's my other one, which I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? You what? Which I actually can't believe it myself, because I really wanted to like them, and I can't. Which makes me sad, but they're not for me. So, like I said before, like, you should always experiment yourself, you know, don't take my word or anyone else's word for it. But, I don't like, Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils. I have 10, no, I have 8 Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils, and they're different shades, darker and lighter, and midtones, and I've again used them in many different books on many different types of paper, like on top of marker by themselves, and I don't care for them. I like the Pablos better, but I think the reason why is the Pablos are a little harder, and I just tend to like harder pencils, like I said before. But it makes me sad because they're beautiful. Like, when people do finished works with them, they're amazing. They look amazing. And actually, it's funny because it's not really like that I don't like how they work, because I think they work amazing. I don't like the way they feel when you color with them on the paper. Like, it's a tactile thing. I don't know how to describe it. It just gives me the willies. Like, ugh. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I don't know. I'm strange. But, do you guys have anything like that where there's like a colored pencil or a marker brand or just in general, like a tool in general, where you're like, no, I can't work with that. Like, it gives me the willies. Like, I get the chills, kind of like how people talk about chalk pastel. Like, some people hate the feeling of chalk pastel, and it doesn't bother me too much, but it is very messy. When I many moons ago, when I was in 8th grade, I took 8th grade art, and we did one of those things where you draw a grid on your paper, and then you pick a picture out of a magazine and you draw the grid on the magazine with the same dimensions, and you kind of redraw what the magazine picture is on the paper, like one square at a time. And then after we did that, we used chalk pastel to color it in, and I had a lot of fun with that. I still have it, as a matter of fact. Somewhere. Oh, I know where it is. It's by my desk over there. I'll show it to you guys someday soon. Hopefully, if I remember. You'll have to let me know if you want to see it in the comments or not. So we did one side of her hair, right? Super nice, super nice. So we're gonna do this side. Can you guys see it? I might have to scooch it down. One good thing about leaving the background white is if you go a little bit out of the lines, you can cover it up with some white gel pen when you're done. Don't mind me, guys, I'm just concentrating. So there's some tiny strands of hair. Oh, goodness gracious. How many times can I sigh in one video? Have you guys pre-ordered any books? Did you pre-order Hannah Carlson's book, Midnight Masquerade? I don't usually pre-order books because Amazon does this thing where they're like, oh, do you want to pre-order your book? And you're like, oh, sure. And then like you get it two months later than everyone else. Or at least I do. I don't know about anybody else, but I don't know. So I tend to not pre-order because that happened to me twice, and I was like, you know, what's the point of pre-ordering if you get it quicker when you don't pre-order? So after we get done with her hair, we're going to do the patch on the back of her jacket, which will be more interesting than her hair, I think. I appreciate that Jacquelin puts really thick lines, you know, in her work because it makes it easier to color. I don't mind thin lines, but I prefer thick lines because if you go slightly over, the line just hides it, which I appreciate because not everybody's perfect all the time, right? Even Joanna Basford has said, like, she goes outside the lines. Happens to everyone. I don't, sometimes my hand is shakier than others, like, I don't know, it's strange. Sometimes I can get really straight lines if I'm tracing something or whatever, and sometimes my hand and my brain are just not working together. They're like, what? I'm sorry, what did you want? Oh. Like one of them is just asleep, like, huh? 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 Oh, wait, let me do this first. Put a little bit of blue right here. I noticed Kate from Kate's Coloring Haven here on YouTube was doing whipping the whips, and I think I might join in because I got some whips that I've had for years that I need to get done. Like really kind of dumb things that I've just been sitting there, and by dumb I mean like it's not like super detailed or anything. It's just because I lost interest, or because, you know, there was a new book to color in. Whoops. Oh wait. Never mind, picking up the wrong marker. You know, stuff like that. It wasn't because it was like super detailed and I was like worn out by it. There is like a 2-page spread that has been a whip that I've had in The Night Voyage by Daria Song since I got it. So like since 2017 when I got it, it's been a whip. Same with like this whip I've had in Hannah Carlzon's Daydreams since 2017. A couple of them I've had since like either 2018 or 2017 in Daydreams. Like, just why are they still sitting there? But I just like, you know that expression, so many books, so little time. That's what it feels like sometimes, where I'm like, oh, I should finish that, but oh, there's a new book coming out. No. Then I get overwhelmed. Okay, all done with her hair for now. We're gonna add some of that hybrid dual metallic later on in her hair, but I'm gonna wait till last because that'll smear. And I have a history of putting my hand right in the gel pen, so we'll wait for that. So now we're gonna do her patch right here. And oh, I also meant to tell you guys this. Remember in the part 1, I was telling you about I had to use my old color charts book because I hadn't fully swatched out the Cali Art 100s that I had. That was a lie, because apparently I did swatch them out in this newer book, which I had completely forgotten about for some weird reason. I don't know, just a total brain fart. So here they are. Right in the front. It's like the very first thing I did. So, you know. I don't know where my brain was, but anyway. That just goes to show, like, when you have too many, like, coloring things. So we're gonna use Wink of Stella pens on her patch. And also regular markers. So, I don't know why I feel like I have to do this, but I'm gonna do her, the wheels on her skate first. So we're gonna use the Cali Art markers. And this is Vermilion. And this is R107. And then we're going to color in the wheels of her roller skate. It's funny how your brain works, where you're like, I have to do this one thing first. I don't know why, but I feel like I do. Okay. And then so the next, like the inside of her wheel and this, the bottom part, is going to be silver. So for that we're going to use the Wink of Stella. And these are not brushed, they're plastic nibs. So, where does it say? Oh, there it is. I don't know, can you guys see that? 0.8 millimeter. And they are shimmery. Kind of like the brush Wink of Stella is. Not like chunky glitter, but they have like a shimmer to them, you know? And they're a plastic nib. And it's 0.8 millimeter like I showed you. So it's pretty tiny. If you watch Carla Magana's YouTube channel, she uses them a lot. She uses these a lot, I mean. Alrighty. And we'll use these later on too. Not just for that one little part. And, you know, hold on. We can look at this book. We don't have to guess about the Cali Arts. So, I think I'm going to go with Y623 for the trim of the shoe. And then I'm just going to leave the roller skate itself white and put like a gray highlight around it so it like sticks out a little. So, let's see. 623. Here it is. So, Y623, potato brown. Okay, and so there's like a little crease right here on her jacket. We're just going to use a gray, really light gray. Where is it? For some reason the 100 set doesn't have like a ton of grays. Excuse me. I had oatmeal and it's like kind of stuck in my throat still. Okay, so we're gonna use warm gray 05 in the Cali Art markers. And we're gonna do like a little outline. so you can kind of see the skate a little better when you color in the background. It's a little darker than I wanted, but it's fine. And let's see. Let's do the stars first so we don't color over them later on when we do the background. So with the stars, I'm going to do yellow, which I know stars aren't yellow, they're white, but this is fine. We can do what we want, right? It's your coloring page. You do what you want. They could be green stars. Also, I figured, since I made the moon in her tattoo yellow, I would also make the moon in this patch yellow. Alright, and so while we wait for that to dry, sorry if you can hear me blowing. We can start on her hair with the hybrid dual metallic. So what I thought we'd do with the Pentel pen, oops, wait, hold on a second. What I thought we'd do with the Pentel pen is kind of give her little outlines, you know? So in these little like spaces. Oh, can you guys see that right here? And you know, we'll just give her little areas of glitter. Cause you know, she looks like she puts glitter in her hair. Why not? She looks pretty snazzy. Dun, 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 dun. Do you guys like my song? I'm so talented. Not really. Not a talented singer at all. I think I get that from my dad, that do 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 do, because he does the same thing. Can you guys see it? Yeah, you can see it. I'm always afraid that like the top is gonna get cut off or something whenever I do anything. This phone. Alrighty. So, you know what we can also do? Let's just put some right here. Just to make this side a little more even. Alright, so let's see. Let's put some right here. And right here. And down here. Actually, should have started to the right over here because that's the rule, right to left. And I didn't follow it. Oops. That's okay, we'll survive. We'll just go back down below and continue working on her patch after this. I'm going back and forth on whether I want to use Wink of Stella on the background of her patch too, or if I don't. I haven't quite made up my mind yet on that one. I think I might. I think the finished product would look super sparkly and cute. Because, you know, you want to match the sparkly in her hair. Alright. Let's see, any other spaces? I don't think so. So we're going to do this side. And to keep my hand from getting in the other side, I'm going to turn it. So, sorry about that, guys. Alright. I'm gonna do this one right here too. And this one. This little area right here. my god, I can't stand that fly. I feel like I'm always complaining about flies. That's because there's always at least one in here that, like, when I open the door to let the cat out, he flies in. He flies in. Get it? Ha ha. Some quality YouTube content for you. Look at him. Go away, fly. That song you learn as a kid never rings true, right? She fly, don't bother me. She fly, don't bother me. Alright. Let's see. Let's give her hair the once over. Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't do this little part. It's like over her face. See, that's why you kind of gotta get the step back from it. Because you might have missed a little spot. Yay! Any spot down here? Nope. Okay, we're good. So, now what I think we'll do is we'll use one of the Winkastellas on the background of her patch. So, you know what just occurred to me? Both my white gel pens are over on my desk. So I might have to do that touching up off camera because there are a few little spots where I kind of went out of the lines. So, I'm going to, whoops, oh gosh, okay, put that over there, and on the back side of this paper, I'm going to swatch these two pink colors, because I can't remember what they look like. Right off the, so we're swatching these two right here. They're both pink. One is like kind of a corally pink, and one is just, so this is the corally pink. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of reddish. And then this is the pinky pink. So, I think I'm going to go with the redder pink because her wheels are red, so I'm going to go with this guy. And I don't know if you can see. Hold on. Oh, now you can kind of. How sparkly they are. So they're not like super chunky glitter, you know, like a Stickles. They're just like the Winkostella brush pens, like I said before, but it's a really nice sparkle. It's a really like nice understated sparkle. And also, be careful when you use these because you'll smear the ink on the lines like I did right there. Be careful. It's no big deal though. I'll just be like, I did that on purpose. It's a shadow. It's a shadow. And if you're watching this screaming, Amber, why are you starting on the bottom? You should start on the top. Now you're going to put your arm in it. Yep. Realize that just right now. It's okay. We're almost done. We can do this. Let's see, how long is this video? Can I see? I can't see the time. Hopefully not too long. Just making sure I cover up any of those pesky little white spots that sometimes happen when you're using a gel pen or a glitter pen or anything like that. I don't know why, but in my head this background seemed bigger, and then now that I'm coloring it, it's not. So that's good news. You know that feeling when you start coloring a background, like a really large background, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a journey. This is gonna take me a while. Doesn't like have to be like a sky or anything. It could be like a wall, or like that whip I was telling you in the night voyage that I've yet to finish. It's the first, like, I think it's the first double page spread. It's the one of her in her room, and her room has wallpaper, and it's one of those things I think where it seems like huge and insurmountable, but then when you start doing it, it's like, oh, this isn't so bad. But at the time when I was first, doing the page, I didn't have like a super large selection of fine liners or anything, so I didn't have the right color to use a fine liner, and I really didn't want to have to use pencil, but I didn't have Varathins, Prismacolor Varathins, which I probably would have used in the design in her wallpaper already had I had them, but I didn't have them at the time. So I think that's one of the many reasons why I kind of let that one go for so long. But I feel like I have better, like, I'm more prepared. I have the right tools for the job that I want to do. So I might get cracking on that for the hashtag whipping the whips that Kate is doing. So one thing about these pens, especially on Create Space paper, not so much here it looks like, but on Create Space paper, when you use them, they have, when you first put them down, they look kind of funny. They have like this weird thing going on where you're like, oh no, did I screw it up? Like, did I screw the picture up? They look kind of splotchy at first, but when they dry completely uniform and solid. So don't worry about when you first put them down on Create Space paper if they look kind of funny. When they dry nicely. Because I did that on a picture. I think it was, oh shoot, what's the name of that book? Is it Little Darlings? But I colored her shirt with this pen, as a matter of fact. And when I first started coloring, I was like, oh no, what happened? Like, I thought I was gonna, I don't know, it made me think I was gonna like rip through the paper or something, or I don't know what was going on. But it dried fine, so that was nice. But at first I had like a heart attack because I was like, oh no, I really like this picture, I ruined it at the last second. Which, oh my god, is the biggest bummer. If you've ever worked on a page and you are so liking how it is coming out and you just go a little bit too far with like adding like embellishments or whatever, and you feel like you've messed it up, and it's just like, oh, it's like such a big letdown. It's like that Price is Right, like oh, that's the worst. That just goes to show you have to stop at some point. You have to just tell yourself, nope, that's enough. It doesn't need any more. Because you can get carried away doing whatever it is you're doing. Adding stuff, and sometimes it doesn't come out good. So it looks a little splotchy right now, but it's gonna dry fine, I'm sure. These pens are like, they're the Zig memory system, so they're meant for like, pretty sure they're meant for like card making and scrapbooking and stuff. Because that's what the other things that they have in this line are mainly for crafting. So I'm guessing, don't quote me on it, but I'm guessing it'll be just fine. It looks okay now. It's just, you can see where the like damp spots are. So did anybody else see Sammy's Saturday stream today? I missed it live. Like, it totally slipped my mind. So I have to watch the VOD, I guess. Like most times. But it's okay. I enjoy watching her streams. Thanks for shouting me out, Sammy, in the stream before this one. She liked my my thoughts on the Wildwood Soiree coloring book that I hauled in my other video. I can't help it, it's adorable. I know she knows. She knows. It's adorable. But I appreciate you shouting me out, Sammy. You're the sweetest person. I think Sammy was saying, also on that stream that she loves, like, was it Sammy? Yeah, I think it was. And she was saying how she loves The Haunting at Hill House, that, I think she's talking about the Netflix miniseries. I watched, I think, 10 or 20 minutes of that show, because I've seen the old movie, The Haunting at Hill House, and I've read the book also, the original book, and I enjoyed both. But I'm a chicken, like, I am the world's biggest chicken, and I watched like 10 or 20 minutes of the new show, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was too scary. So yeah. I tried, but I couldn't do it. I was too chicken. But it's funny because it looks like a really good show. Like, can somebody make like a book adaptation of the show? I'll read it. Because I really liked it. It seemed like a good plot. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just a chicken, like I said. So our picture, ta-da, is done. Doesn't she look so nice? Here, I'll hold it up a little so you can see. So you can see it's a little damp in spots still, but that's okay. And it's hard to see, like it's hard to get it to catch the light because the shimmer is, well, you can see it on the roller skate. But it's all glittery and shimmery and stuff. And so I'll give you a close up of her hair and stuff. Ta-da! We did it, guys. She's done. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.